a happy Thanksgiving Eve. Here we are, one day away, Thanksgiving. I hope that you're looking forward to a very enjoyable and wonderful Thanksgiving. Today we are in Psalm 119. Psalm 119, verse 7, my paraphrase. I thank the Lord for the protection His warnings and instructions give my life. This psalm is in Psalm 119, 176 verses. I'm just going to read all those to you right now. Just kidding. And the whole psalm is about God's instructions. And they're called commands, decrees. They are called a law. It's all kinds of different things, but it's the whole idea of God giving us something to go by in life. Here you go. Here's some things that you can go by, and the author believes that this is really a good thing. That if the God of the universe, Yahweh specifically, is willing to let us in on how to live a better life, that we really ought to pay attention, and that's really a good thing. And the author says, I give thanks for the protection that the instructions and the warnings that you give my life. And we have to be very careful here, because when we think about the law, when we think about commandments, we automatically think, oh, we're just talking about the written. We would say in the Bible, But the author had very little written down. It was mostly oral. It was what came from here and there, and there were some things written down, but not a lot. If the historians and the scholars will tell us that most of the things were written quite a bit later than it's talked about. And so, saying all that to say, we have to be very careful to think that it's only from the Bible. No, there's all kinds of forms and ways that Yahweh brings forth instructions, guidelines, warnings in our lives. And we thank Him for all the different ways. It might come through something that you hear even right now. It might come through something that you hear in a song. It may be something that you see in a movie. It might be something from a show that you watch. It might be a book that you read. It prompts us to say, hey, that's a good thing. Pay attention to that. That leads you in the way of love. That leads you in the way of compassion. That leads you in the way of mercy. That leads you in the way of Yahweh. And of course today, the reason all of those forms work so well together is because the Holy Spirit is alive and well and working. And so we say, hey, thank you. Thank you for the many different ways that you bring forth your guidance. And the author of the Psalm says, that is the blessed life. That is the good way to live. So let's pay attention to the guidance that Yahweh gives, the protection that it brings, and the things that it provides in our life. And on this Thanksgiving Eve, we can be thankful that He guides our lives and warns us of the things that can be so bad. Have a great Thanksgiving Eve.